All right. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Kingdom of the Kael Isles. Yes, this is my custom D&D campaign where I take people who weren't quite, I don't know, foreseeing enough to realize they should probably say no when I said, hey, who wants to play in my custom D&D campaign? And now they're on a ship and they're going to a sunken dwarven city.
Remembered.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of cool. To kind of bring people up to speed, the group started by an Eladrin, very high-ranking member of the Eladrin Majocracy government, hiring them to get rid of a pirate, which they did spectacularly. And then they found an island with spiders on it. And then they found an island with a creepy Eladrin dude who was making dead things not so dead anymore. And they found a secret. They took care of Corin, the dude. When they came out, they found out the Eladrin government that had hired them had also decided they were no longer useful and tried to kill them, and were trying to take over the world. And another secret. That's what happens when people tweet me, guys. So if you hear that during the game, that means someone's talking about me on Twitter. It probably means people are retweeting the game, so it's a good thing. Beyond that,
Solving puzzles in Zelda while you DM us.
beyond that, they were able to join kind of a resistance, and they started gathering allies. The first allies they went to
Yeah, I knew there
gain
was some.
was
I knew
an
there was something I needed to think about.
yep.
Damn it.
The other group that they or the first group that they decided to ally with was an old friend of Avox, who happened to be a wood elf in charge of a wood elfin kind of secret village. They went, and while they were rescuing and kind of going through this, they met this druid named Kata, who'd kind of been raised in the wild. And she decided to join their group after they saved her kind of surrogate mother, a cheetah, who she affectionately calls Mama. And yeah, so now they made the decision that they want to head off to after having some visions last week of some really weird stuff. They decided they wanted to go to this ancient sunken dwarven city called Damdaral to try and see if they can find an item that Fade hopes to use to construct a specialized weapon kind of given to him by his chosen deity, the Dark Lady. So, now that we've done that, last week, you guys... and for those of you wondering why Elaine has turned into an owlbear, Elaine will be slightly late tonight. So until Elaine gets here, or Elaine's player gets here, Elaine will be an owlbear with a heart behind it, because that's adorable. So
given that Elaine's a rogue,
yeah, I mean owlbear with a heart, rogue. I mean they're kind of one and the same.
Aww.
actually half rogue given that it's multi-class.
So you guys left late at night, so late that it was almost like early in the morning to kind of avoid the Eladrin patrols so they don't really find out where this secret base is. And you start on your like week-long-ish journey heading out to kind of the reaches of the Kael Empire. Because you're going all the way to the east, just about as far away as you can get, way over here for the audience, and your little area there is where the hidden city thing. Thank you. Wow, brain is gone, guys. Brain is absolutely gone. So, anyways, the first couple of days, not a whole lot happens. The captain and the crew itself has been expertly kind of avoiding patrols and things like that. And so the first day or so, not a whole lot happens for you guys specifically. Is there anything that you guys are doing on ship to kind of
I
prepare for anything?
since since I tend to be the first one to uh, wake up. I when I do every day, I'd like to as a ritual cast. Where's as a ritual, so I don't waste my spell slots.
Okay.
I cast water breathing. Just in
Oh.
case,
Ooh,
just in case we ran into some bad shit that wants to drag us underwater.
So,
nice. Up to 10 willing creatures.
so every morning you guys wake up to see Kata kind of sitting there and speaking in a language that none of you guys have heard before, and kind of wandering over, and then she'll kind of look at you, and you'll just take this deep breath in. You're like, that was weird. And then she just goes about her day.
Uh, you're one weird kid.
Is there anything else? The Due to the fact that you guys are going to an area that is kind of pre-history at this point, because history, according to the Eladrin, start when the Eladrin took over this area. The captain brought along as many books as they had at the camp that dealt with dwarven history. He himself had kind of a special collection. That's how he knows as much as he did. That's kind of been passed down through dwarven families that the Eladrin have never found. So you do kind of have like a mini library that you can research in if you want to go that route, or you're on a ship. So there's always tons of different things that you could be doing on the ship. So is there anything else like for the first like day or two that you guys are doing on the ship?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm going to be reading. I'm going to get myself on a barrel and lean against like a mast or something with my feet up and read some of these books while Durfla's scrubbing the deck.
Okay. Is there anything specific that you are looking for? There's a number of volumes. Some of them are written by Eladrin, and they cover more of dwarven culture and things currently. There are a few that are actually written in ancient dwarven,
Okay.
which you would do you speak dwarvish, whatever it is?
Negative.
So those you would need someone to translate for you.
Oh, Captain!
The captain, unfortunately,
Oh.
is relatively too busy to be able to give you a translation because he basically have to read it to you, and he's busy captaining.
Okay. Well,
I
I
mean, you can look
will.
at pictures and stuff like that, but it's not quite the same
Okay. Well,
unless
I'm
you
going
happen to have like
to.
comprehend language or something.
I'm seeing if maybe I can prepare that on one of these days of the week long journey. Because that would be wonderful.
Help for you.
All right. Well, while Fade's been studying the books a fair amount, looking through ones that he can read, looking through ones that he can't read, and try and teach himself. Kata's been playing with water breathing. Avak.
Um. Fuck. What? What would a human barbarian do on this ship?
You can help out with like ship activities and stuff like that, like
I am
adjusting
not going
sails and
through
stuff
that
like
again.
that. Or
Well,
they're
I ain't scrubbing
always,
the fucking.
due to the militaristic nature of just everything right now, there are always sailors that are brushing up on combat skills because they will be using them.
Really?
Yeah, there's always on one of the decks. There's always at least one person teaching fencing, brawling, other things like that,
Ooh, I want to brawl.
and brawl. Okay, so you see you see a couple guys that are kind of working through grappling and pinning techniques that you can use to subdue people on a boat. You can see that they're specifically using things like belaying pins and other things like that to kind of brush up on their ship combat fighting skills. And so as you kind of wander over, you can see there's these two relatively large-looking dwarves. Very, very muscular, like solid muscle. You can see they're both like just kind of moving in and out of each other's grips. You can see them kind of switching around and getting them into headlocks and stuff like that, and then flipping it over and things like that. Very, none of it incredibly fancy, nothing like judo or jiu-jitsu or something like that. But you can tell that these guys are doing this specifically to learn how to do it better. And as you come over, the guy that's kind of overseeing it is this halfling. And he sees you kind of standing there. He's like, "Oi, you! What you doing over there?"
I'm just enjoying the show. I think I might get a piece myself eventually.
Well, this ain't no spectator sport now, is it? I think that the lads could learn a lot from you. You're much closer to Eladrinite now, aren't you?
Sure.
All right. And he comes over and he just kind of slaps one of them on the back and goes, "All right, you, sit down. You, big one, get over here."
All right. This is going to be fun.
All right. So I've been training these guys to take out Eladrin as quickly as possible. Sometimes that means just straight out tackle them to the ground. What I want you to do is you need to try to resist them. All right?
No problem.
And you see him go over and he whispers something into the ear of the dwarf. And the dwarf kind of does this. I think we're going to have a wee bit of fun here, aren't we? He gives you kind of a grin. So he gets down into like a low stance with his arms kind of out to his sides, palms splayed, kind of ready for you. And he just kind of nods towards you. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm supposed to resist, aren't I? So pretty much just gonna stance and be like, "Come on."
All right. You see him quickly run over and kind of just bash into you. Go ahead and make me a athletics check.
Alrighty.
Starting off.
Natural 20.
Nice!
So as he comes over and he just kind of tackles you, you spread your legs a little bit, crouch down, and you slide back, maybe about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Nothing else happens, though. You just kind of sit there, and he's like, "Urgh," and he's got kind of a bear hug around you, and he kind of looks up at you, realizes that didn't work quite the way he is, and he starts moving around a little bit. While he's repositioning himself, what do you do?
Okay. So he's got me in like a bear hug, you said, or something like that, right?
Kind of. He just came and like wrapped his arms around you in an attempt to like pile drive you, and that didn't work. So right now he's kind of adjusting his grip. It looks like he's trying to get you into some sort of submission hold.
Not bad, but let's try something different. All right, I'm going to do a. Damn it! I don't know wrestling moves anymore.
Just kind of describe what you want to do.
It's kind of like his head's between my legs. I pretty much.
Yeah. You're gonna try and basically lift him up and like.
Just a down driver?
Yeah, tombstone. I guess.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
Alrighty. Crap baskets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 12.
So as you sit there and you grip around his waist and you try and start lifting him up, you notice that he kind of torques himself and gets a grab on one of your legs and uses that to force himself out of the grip. And you're not able to get into the position where you could do that. Roll me a perception check.
Gotcha. Perception is Okay. Not bad. 21.
Oh yeah. You see him as he's kind of working his way around you. You see him pull a belaying pin out of a socket that's not being used right now, and it comes straight at your temple. Make a dexterity saving throw for me.
All right then. Do I get with advantage since I saw him do that?
No, you get to make the saving throw because you saw him do that.
Fair enough. All right. Let's see. 11.
11. All right, so I just realized I haven't rolled mine. So it comes up and slams into your temple, and your vision starts to swim. The entire boat seems to be swaying significantly more than it has. As he does that, he gets behind you and starts trying to put you into a half Nelson. While he's doing that, what would you like to do?
Describe to me what half a Nelson is.
It's where he gets behind you, and he puts his arms through here,
Right.
and then his hands here, so it kind of holds your arms back like this.
Okay.
So you reach your arms up underneath their armpits and then move back around. And then put your hands behind theirs like this to force their arms back so they can't do anything.
Gotcha. All right. Just trying to do that, I guess. I'm just gonna try and repel his arms, just
fight
he's.
him off, basically.
Yeah, I guess just fight him off.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength athletics check with disadvantage this time, because your head's still swimming from that blow.
Mm-hmm. Fuck.
How'd you do?
One, I think.
I rolled a 1.
Fantastic. So you're not able. He gets you into this half Nelson. Your arms are kind of pinned back, and you feel his leg. Surprisingly enough, he's kind of compressed your body down to make this so this is even possible, since he's a little bit shorter than you.
Yeah.
And you feel one of his legs linking around one of your legs, and you feel him kick out one of your legs. Go ahead and make a dex save.
Okay. Alright, that's better. That's a 17.
All right. So as he kicks your leg, make it with disadvantage. Sorry.
Oh.
Still 17. I rolled a nat 20 on the second roll.
Ooh,
All right.
nice.
Well, as he sits there and he kicks your leg out, you instantly slam your knee down, which hurts, but it prevents him from being able to flip you onto your front. So you do take 1 point of bludgeoning damage just from your knee slamming into the deck.
Okay.
And you are currently restrained, but he hasn't pinned you. He's just kind of behind you. What would you like to do?
Alright. So, it's got me that half Nelson, pretty much. I'm on my knee, or...
You have one leg up and you have one knee down, kind of bracing yourself. So you're kind of like in a crouched position.
Okay. Actually, I should have long arms, so I want to try and reach back for his head.
Okay.
Since he's got me in that position, I'm going to grab his head and I want to, flip him,
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, just to get him in front of me, flip him over and onto the ground.
Kind of shoulder throw him, or direct over?
No, yeah, we'll do shoulder over.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Disadvantage?
Yes, but it's no longer because your head is swimming, it's because you're
I'm
significantly
restrained.
shorter than you, is all.
Alright.
Wow.
Fuck, really? 11.
Boom! He hits the deck hard.
Mm.
The rest
You
of you
rolled a
guys
1,
kinda
didn't you?
I
You
rolled
rolled
a
a 1.
Again, it's me rolling. He hits the deck hard.
You
He no longer has a hold on you whatsoever, and he kind of lays there for a little bit, breathing pretty heavy because you knocked the wind out of him. As he sits there and he breathes for a little bit, he looks up at you, and slowly starts getting to his feet. He looks a little bit shakier than he was before, and just kind of prepares himself for you to come at him. What would you like to do?
Alright, I'll indulge him. I'm going to just, tackle him to the ground, I guess.
Go ahead and make me another athletics check.
Alrighty. Please roll high for once.
Shit.
13.
Boom! Hit him hard. You hit him to the ground. You can kind of smell the sweat and everything from his beard, and just like you are almost to the point of pinning him. He sits there and he wraps his legs around you and tries to kind of force you onto his back and kind of flip it over so he's in a more dominant position. You can choose acrobatics or athletics, whichever you would prefer.
Athletics.
All right, go for it.
21.
All right.
Nice.
He sits there and he kind of twerks his body around. You're not moving. You're in the dominant position. You're staying there. You are familiar with matches like that. They generally end once the opponent is pinned, and you are in a position to pin him now if you would like.
Yeah, I'll pin him now.
All right, go ahead and make one more athletics check, this time with advantage. You're not going to need it.
No, that's a unnatural 20.
All right, and you sit there, and as he's sitting there and trying to fight against you, you grab his shoulders and just force them into the ground, pinning him completely. And the little halfling goes, all right.
And taps out.
Yeah. It looks like got a pretty good winner here, aren't we? And he comes over and he kind of slaps you on the shoulder. He's like, we might ask you to teach us a few things right there. Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
All
I
right,
enjoyed that
everyone,
quiet.
get back to work. That's enough for today. And you see them all start picking up various things. The guy that got pinned is given a mop and a bucket. To
I go to the guy I pin and like, not bad. Get me on my toes.
He kind of slaps you on the shoulder and is like, aye, for a scrawny one like you got a wee bit of muscle on that.
Given what I deal with, I usually need it.
Alright, I've got to get to swimming the decks before the captain has me head over us. And he goes up.
Fist bump.
Okay, so that kind of takes you through the first day. Fade, were you able to see if you can comprehend languages? You are muted.
No, because I was muted. But I have a question.
I have an answer. Let's see if they match.
So my skeleton companion was an Eladrin that I murdered.
Yeah.
Eladrin are supposed to be able to talk to the lesser races to command them around. Could I cast Speak with Dead to talk to him and find out if he can read Dwarvish? And if so, translate these books for me?
The difference would be, in general, Eladrin don't learn to speak the other languages to command. They expect the other races to learn either Common or Elvish for them to speak to them. They don't go the other way. And this is Ancient Dwarvish, so if you can speak Dwarvish, there would still be a check involved in seeing if you could understand an ancient version of a modern language.
Incoming multi-class. Got it.
Last for 10 minutes, dude.
All right, so the first couple of days kind of passed similarly. Avok, on the second day, you actually teach a few classes on some of the techniques that you used. Kata keeps waking you guys up with this weird gibberish she keeps speaking. Fade's been spending more and more time trying to translate these books.
Oh, and I've also been trying to keep a lookout for any danger.
Okay, cool. Very, very useful. Fade, you were able to speak to the captain, and he gave you a book that he owned in his private collection that kind of taught a few basic dwarven phrases and related them to ancient dwarvish, which is what he's used to read these books.
Okay.
Gives you a slight insight, but it's still, translating a language that you don't speak into another language that you don't speak. So.
Okay. I guess what I want to look in these books for specifically, I mean, even if I can just get him to show me what the word trade would be, I'd want to just kind of scan through pages for any maps or anything that might show trade routes to try to find an entrance.
Okay.
Or where an entrance was at the time of the island being there.
Roll a history check for me.
History's not too bad.
Oh no.
11 plus 5, 16.
Oh, nice.
So as you look around, you notice the maps and things like that from that time period. There's a little kind of set of very small islands around there that aren't on most of the maps that you've seen in these books. Like, you can't find those islands anywhere.
Okay.
So there's a very good chance that the islands either formed after the city sunk due to displacement of land and stuff like that, or are a direct response to the city sinking. Like, they built things to get out, and eventually they got overgrown and turned into islands.
Okay.
So
That's
as good as you can find. All right, Kata, go ahead
Yes.
and roll me a perception check.
You got it. Hopefully it'll be as high as my earlier off-game roll, where I rolled a double nat 20. Alright, perception.
Not bad.
18.
18? Not bad. So as you are kind of wandering around the deck, again, you haven't been around this many people in, 12 or 14 years. You've been surrounded mostly by animals. And so you're slowly kind of walking around and keeping an eye on everything. But the people around you are fascinating to you. The interactions that they have, some of the language that they use you've never heard before. When they notice that you're there, you notice that the language they use changes slightly. As you're going around, you are relatively constant because you've never been around this much water. You go to like the bow of the ship and just kind of look around and kind of take in just the majesty that is sea travel. And while you're there, you sit there and you notice on the horizon, you see a couple islands in different places that you guys are going past. But one of the islands, you see a relatively large shadow, just barely outside of your vision range. That's what it looks like is moving, but you can't really tell what it is. What would you like to do?
Maybe go to the captain and try to point it out to him.
Okay. So you head to the captain's cabin.
Do I catch her doing this?
She's been wandering all around the ship. Make a perception check for me. Because she'd probably be moving a little bit faster than normal doing this.
19.
19.
Nice.
Yeah, you see her, she's on the bow of the ship. You see her facial expression change a little bit, and then she kind of rushes back towards the captain's cabin.
I'll follow after her.
Okay. So as you get to the captain's cabin, the captain's door has been wide open for most of the trip because people are constantly coming in and out, giving him updates. He's got this giant map in front of him that he's kind of plotting the course. You can see these little ships figures on the map in various places that every so often he'll move them around. And as you come in, the captain kind of sees Kata and goes, "Hey, little one, what are you doing over here? I thought you were out doing things on the top of the ship. This really isn't the place for someone so young."
Oh, I saw a big shadow. It, that I try to point out the island to him where I saw the shadow.
And he gets a little bit
It
of
was
worried.
moving. It was moving.
He gets a little bit of a worried expression, and then he turns to the first mate. He's like, "I haven't checked that out." And you see the first mate kind of rushes past you very quickly. Fade, since you're kind of in the center of the ship, you see the first mate come and actually, not like roughly, but he pushes you off of your perch so that he can climb the main mast and get up to the crow's nest. And as you see him up there, you can see him kind of talking to someone, and he has him. You see him pointing off in the distance, and then you hear, "Ladrin ship off the port bow! Battle stations!"
Whoa!
Little fuckers.
And you guys start hearing the ship kind of come to life very quickly. Everyone kind of changes what they're doing. You see two people kind of rush out of the crew quarters and man the ballistay. One actually on the thing, and the other one kind of preparing and bringing out more ballista bolts to be able to keep reloading it. You see all the sails come up. You see the captain come up next to the navigator who's at the wheel. And start going, "All right, everyone, we've got a wee bit of a problem here. We didn't see this one. It's far too close. It might see us." And then you see this streak of red start heading towards the ship, and about 30 or 40 feet off of the port side of the ship, you see this explosion of fire. "Correction!
Shit.
They've seen us! Battle stations! You!" And he points to you guys and goes, "You get to a place where you're safe and get ready for a fight. I don't know if we're going to be able to outrun these bastards. You over there!" And he starts just barking off orders. And you see the ship is moving at like a well-oiled machine. They look like they were created for this purpose. And people are running around, and you see different sails being adjusted, and you can see some of them being rolled up and other ones being rushed down. You can see a few people are actually arming themselves with bows and scimitars and things like that in preparation for boarding. And now you guys can see fairly clearly this large Eladrin battleship. You can see, while it has a few ballista like your ship, you can see even more Eladrin men in flowing robes, men and women in flowing robes, holding wands and staffs at the ready, and you can see some of them are conjuring and things like that. Fade, you have seen ships like this. This is a full Eladrin battleship, and the Eladrin men and women on there are basically their artillery. Their sole purpose is firing large damaging spells to destroy the ship or whatever they're bombarding. What would you all like to do? Go ahead and roll initiative for me. I'll have you guys act in initiative order.
Gotcha.
$13.
Alright, let me get this stuff typed out real quick.
Okay.
Alright, Avok, what you got?
10.
Elaine? You're not here, sorry. Faye?
15.
And
She should
Kata
be
was
here
13.
about now. Yeah, I got 13. She should be here about now, right?
She'll probably get here relatively soon. Faye, you were the first one to kind of react to seeing this full Eladrin battleship. You can see it's probably about 300 feet away from you on the port side of the ship, and it's heading straight for the ship right now. Do you
Okay.
have anything that you want to do?
I'm going to command my skeleton to make sure it's holding my shield in front of me, so I have both hands free, and I will prepare a chill touch, which is a range 120 for whenever they get close enough.
Okay, so you guys see Fade kind of setting up a wall with his good skeleton buddy, and he starts conjuring. You watch his hands start radiating kind of cold energy, and you can see waves of kind of chilled air and condensation on his hands, kind of waiting for a moment to strike. Kata.
See, let's see here. Okay, this will be there.
Hey, Evok, do we want to board them?
How far away is the ship anyway?
Right now, the ship's about 300 feet.
Yeah.
It's far for all of us.
Yeah.
Relatively soon, it'll be getting closer. Like, it's traveling at high speed, so
Oh god.
it'll get closer relatively quickly.
How high up is the flare?
The what?
The flare, the fireball.
Oh, the
thing?
fireball is gone. It just exploded. Like they fired it off. It went to its max range and exploded before it got to the ship.
Oh, okay. Good. Let's see.
Well, if you
Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything.
okay, Abok, do you have anything that you want
Just
to
get
do?
ready for battle.
I'll respond to Fade.
Yeah, I'd rather board and kick their asses because I'm useless far away. Actually, hold that thought. I always forget I have these.
What?
I'm gonna take out one of my javelins and wait
Ah.
till they get into 120 feet range. I'm gonna have to roll at disadvantage, but regardless, I'm gonna snipe one of them.
Okay.
So I will ready to throw when they get in range.
Fate, you know that a ship this size can easily have a crew of 50 to 100 Eladrin on it. If that changes
Okay.
your opinion. It is your turn again, by the way. The ship, the Eladrin ship now has moved, and it's now roughly about 250 feet away, seen as the ship that you guys are on are making evasive maneuvers and stuff like that. But the Eladrin ship is gaining.
So we are still trying to run. We're not turning to fight them, right?
Yeah. Your ship is your ship is designed for speed. It's a smaller ship. The whole complement of the crew, including you guys, is around like 30, 40-ish. So compared to this massive ship, you guys are a little bit outclassed. Obviously, you guys have abilities that the rest of the crew don't. You know, being the adventurous
Sure.
heroes that you are. So you do tip the scales in your favor. But
I think what I'm going to have to do. I mean, I'm just going to try something.
Okay.
I'm going to try to use thaumaturgy, which is supposed to like flicker flames and stuff, just to kind of throw a little bit of a extra wind behind the sails.
okay.
It might not actually help, but I'm going to try it.
Make a spell attack roll.
Interesting.
I like this.
12.
Make it with advantage.
Yes,
Ooh.
please.
It's a unique idea. I like it.
19.
13!
So you sit there and you clutch your holy symbol, and the winds around you start to swirl a little bit heavier, and the sails themselves start to pick up more wind, and you guys start pulling away a little bit. You increase the speed of the ship.
Okay.
It'll only be sustained as long as you keep doing
Keep
this,
doing
but
it. Sure.
you've definitely given them a little bit better chance. Kata, you feel the wind pick up. The wind itself is cold, almost biting cold, especially compared to kind of the idyllic kind of summer sea breeze that you've been
Humid.
feeling. Like it's
Humid.
a little bit chilly now.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to go until until we have no choice but to fight, I guess.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I'm going until it seems we have no choice but to fight.
Oh, okay, so you're just kind of preparing yourself for a
Yep.
fight if it comes. Okay. Avok, anything that you want to do?
Yep, still winning if they get into 120 feet somehow. I'm tossing a javelin.
Okay. The ships now have kind of changed course a little bit. Because Fade gave kind of that extra bit of speed and maneuverability, the Eladrin ship is no longer coming directly at you. It's turned more into a chase now. It has moved to about 200 feet, but it's directly behind. And there is a ballista on the back of the ship that these guys are aiming towards them. You guys see them fire off one very large ballista bolt, and it sails through the air and comes crashing down, missing the Eladrin ship just barely as it kind of moves out of the way a little bit. And then you guys hear this thunk, and you see this giant ballista bolt come careening towards the ship. Let's go Fade. I'll let you do even or odd.
Odd.
It connects with the main deck. You see a couple of the sailors go flying. Two of them hit the water. Another two are just kind of hurt by it and are laying on the deck as this bolt is just kind of sticking out of the deck. Fade, what would you like to do?
So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing until, like, if their casters throw like another fireball or something at us, I'm going to, if you'll let me do it, I'll stop casting thaumaturgy and throw a dispel magic if there's like a fireball about to hit us. I'll just try to dispel that fireball before it hits us.
Technically, dispel magic.
Yeah, I know it'd be
spells.
more of a counter spell
It
thing.
stops spell effects.
Okay.
You would have to counter it if you did that.
Yeah.
So.
Then I will thaumaturgy until they catch up, and spiritual weapon on their deck.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me another spell attack roll.
Thaumaturgy, 21.
Was that with advantage?
No. That was with advantage now.
Okay.
Second one was 11.
The winds pick up even more. You guys are actually starting to move a little bit further away. Kata, you can see there are two people in the water that are slowly moving away from the ship because the ship is actually moving away from them. And there's a couple people on the deck that are hurt. What would you like to do?
Let's see. I'm going to go over to one of the hurt people and cast Cure Wounds at first level.
So as you come over, go ahead and roll hit points.
9 HP.
Okay, so you go over and you place your hand on it, willing the healing energies that you wielded before. You can see what looks like this one had kind of like a twisted ankle, probably a broken ankle. You hear the bones kind of knit themselves, and you watch him kind of just shake his head a little bit, stand up, and start going back to what he was doing before. Anything else you want to do?
No.
All right, Avok. There's still one other guy that's kind of hurt, and then there's two people in the water.
How far away are those two people in the water?
Right now, they're right next to the ship, but they're very quickly. The ship is moving away from them relatively quickly.
Okay, I'm gonna grab a rope and just lash it onto my arm. It's gonna hurt like a bitch.
Make just straight up strength check.
Gotcha. That's 17, 21.
All right. So you sit there and you kind of get it wrapped around your arm and you dive off. There is tons of rope on this ship. So as you dive off, I'm assuming you chose a rope that was tied to something.
Yes.
Okay. As you dive off, you hit the water, and you can see two of them are within swimming distance this turn. But grabbing them, especially since you have only one arm, is going to prove very difficult. You have a choice. You can attempt to grab just one of them, which will be significantly easier, or you can try for both of them, which will be significantly harder and may end up with neither of them getting saved. What would you like to do?
Oh, bring on the challenge.
Okay.
Oh.
So I need you to make an athletics check with disadvantage.
Gotcha. Alright. Alright, that's gonna be a 16.
All right. So you go up and fighting through waves and everything, you're able to go and you kind of get both of them as quick as you can. You notice one of them is unconscious from the blow and from hitting the water. The other one kind of just grips onto you, kind of backpack style. However, that is the end of your turn. You don't have the ability to get back up onto the ship this turn. As this is happening, another ballista bolt from the ship goes off and hits the pursuing ship right in the bow, above the water line. So it doesn't start sinking or anything, but it does kind of have a hole in the front of the ship right now. The pursuing ship is now getting to about 150 feet. It fires another ballista bolt. Avok, choose even or odd.
Even.
All right, and the bolt itself sails past, going just short, but I need a dexterity saving throw from you, Avok, with disadvantage, as the bolt itself hits the water relatively close to you.
Okay. Okay, that's 15.
15. All right, so the bolt comes in, and you're able to kind of move with the currents and things like that, and it doesn't hit you. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, I can work with that.
Come on.
Alright, that's good. That's a natural 20.
Yay!
Yeah, not bad at all. So as you're sitting there and you're moving, it is exhausting. You're carrying two people. You have this rope that's kind of bending your arm at a very odd angle as you're getting dragged behind the ship that's going very, very fast. You start to lose grip on the unconscious man, and you just kind of and grunt through it and pull him back up to keep his head above the water. Going back to Fade. Taking a little bit closer, but there's a hole in the front of the ship now.
So I'm going to continue to try to give us a little bit more time.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep thaumaturgy, but this may or may not work. I'm going to ready a chill touch to possibly freeze a ballista bolt to see if I can make it brittle enough when it hits the ship, so maybe it shatters instead of putting a hole in her butt.
Okay. You'll have to choose one or the other, since they both take an action. So whichever you think would be most effective right now.
This is working, so we'll keep thaumaturgy. So spell attack roll.
Yep, with advantage.
With advantage, 24.
Even faster. It picks up Avok. You start feeling the tendons and muscles in your shoulder start to strain as the ship picks up even more speed.
No, I died. This is nothing.
Kata, you've got one more hurt person and then Avok in the water.
Oh God. Is Avok like tattoo ship via a rope?
He's holding on to a rope which is tied to something on the ship. So.
Okay. Actually, I see him, right?
From where you are, like, you have to go to the edge of the ship to see him because he's in the water, 20, 30 feet down.
Okay,
You saw him jump off. You know where he is.
Oh, okay.
He's a big guy with a massive axe. Like, he's hard to miss.
I'm going to help. I'm going to use the rope to help pull him up.
Okay, make me a athletics check.
Okay.
Katya coming over.
Sorry.
Plus 4. 16.
Not bad. So you sit there and you start pulling the rope in. Avok, you start seeing the rope itself is getting shorter, and you are moving closer to the ship itself.
Thank God.
Avok, you're up.
Yeah, I'm getting back on the ship, hopefully.
Okay. Due to the fact that one arm is taken with holding the rope and the other one is keeping this unconscious person from getting into the water, you really don't have the ability to do much but hold on, as far as that's concerned. So I will have you make a strength saving throw, just to kind of keep holding on to everything.
Thank God, my saving throw for strength is great. That's awesome. That's a 23.
Nice.
Fine. You're
Yep.
getting a really good stretch. Like you're like, wow, this is great, man.
Yep.
With the hole in the front of the ship, a few of the people leave the Eladrin deck to try and force the ballista bolt out, to try and make a few repairs in case water starts coming in, and the Eladrin ship starts losing a little bit of its lead, going down back to 200 feet. Another ballista bolt from your ship flies out. I will have Katya choose this time. Even or odd?
Even.
And smacks into the ship. This time, right level with the water line on the ship, and you can see a little bit of water heading into the Eladrin vessel. This is their vessel, not yours.
Phew.
In response, Fade, even or odd?
Odd.
Another ballista bolt comes in, colliding with the ship, actually relatively close to you, Fade. I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Can I get advantage because my skeleton's trying to protect me?
I will.
I'll ask.
Normally, I'd say just add your, add 2 to your AC, but this is an AC based. I'm gonna say no, because it can't block a ballista bolt.
All right, that's a 4.
That's 1.
All right.
Well,
Sorry.
That's the wrong die. As the bolt comes through, wow, I'm rolling awesome. Really? You take 2d10 damage, which translates to 2. As the bolt collides with the deck, another 3 sailors are going to knock off their feet as well as this happens. That ends their turn. Fade, you are now up.
reposition myself. Keep trying. Avok, do we keep going?
I'm in the water. You have
I
to
thought you
decide.
climbed up. Oh.
No, I'm
he's
still-
trying to. He's waiting. Basically, Kata is the only person that's
All right.
pulling him up right now.
A little help here.
Will it make it easier for her to get him up if we slow down a little?
Not really.
All right, then I'll keep the wind going, or try to.
Okay.
24 again.
The ship is picking up speed. You guys are making an even bigger distance, especially since the other ship is starting to take on water. Kata, you are up.
I'm still pulling Evok and the others back up.
Okay. Now remember,
Okay.
you do have access to transformations. Like if your strength score isn't all that great, you can change into an animal that has a higher strength score.
Let's
Or you
see,
can just continue pulling it. So it's entirely up to you.
let's see what I have a.
Can you turn to like an ape, maybe?
Yeah, that actually might be a good idea. Let's see what the strength score is. Yeah.
Giant
Oh, that's
is out of the question.
Yeah, regularly, I actually think I will turn into that as a bonus action.
Okay. Cool. So you watch as Kata starts sprouting this black fur all over her body. You watch her form get significantly larger, and she starts gripping the rope with large simian hands. Go ahead and make your athletics check.
Thank God, apparently the plus 5 to athletics.
Apes are strong.
Yeah. 16.
All right, so pulling up, Avok, you are now hanging out of the water, about like 10 feet away from the top, but you're now at a point where you can actually attempt to walk up the side of the boat.
Oh, good.
To give her a little bit of a hand. So, Avok, you are up. What would you like to do?
Give her a little bit of a hand.
Athletics check, please.
I figure. Nice. 25.
Nice.
You're able to get up over the top of it. However, you are drained. That took the entire rest of your turn. As the ship picks up even more speed in the other Eladrin ship, it fires one more ballista bolt at you guys to attempt to kind of slow you down, and you see a volley of fireballs heading toward the ship, but they're just barely outside of range, and they kind of explode before doing anything. You guys feel a rush of wind from the explosions, though. This very hot, humid, just disgusting wind hits the entire ship.
Much like this past week.
Yeah. But you guys are able, with Fade sitting there concentrating on his thaumaturgy, you guys are able to eventually get away from the Eladrin ship pursuing you.
All right.
Yeah.
The captain kind of looks around and kind of gets you guys together and goes, "That was impressive, to say the least. You've done good. You should be proud of yourselves. Now, I'm going to get back to trying and finding a way for us to get through this." And he kind of clips Kata on the back. He kind of walks into his cabin.
I drop out of my form and blush a little.
Alright, so Avok, you recover relatively quickly, but that was an ordeal. Your shoulder is still a little bit out of whack.
Hey, look who's here!
Alright. Give me just a couple of seconds here, because I have to change a few things around.
Hey, Avok, why'd you go fishing?
Hey, you missed the ship battle!
Hey, Ashley.
What's up?
Hi, you're here.
You just missed the ship battle!
Darn it, I missed all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
We managed to hold up pretty well without you.
Oh, that makes me feel so good about myself.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
There we go.
It was pretty much a chase.
So Elaine comes from below deck, kind of looks around and goes, "What's going on?"
Yeah,
You
like,
see
what's
two
happening?
large ballista bolts in the deck of the ship. You see a couple people on the deck nursing wounds and things like that.
Looks like there was a party up here and no one invited me.
Yeah, Avon pops his shoulder back in. Yeah, you missed it.
Let's see.
Now that the things are kind of dying down, what would you guys like to do?
Then a couple of you guys need to, use hit dice to heal up.
Short rest?
If you guys would like to attempt a short rest, you can.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you guys gonna just rest on the deck? You guys gonna rest below deck? What would you like to do?
I'm gonna rest on the deck against the mast.
Okay.
Just Just rubbing my shoulder and arm. Just.
Yeah, I'll
The
just.
guys that you rescued both thank you profusely. They eventually, the one that fell unconscious, eventually he regains consciousness and he kind of gets told what you did, Avok. And he can't even look you in the eye. He's just like, thank you. I don't know what they would have done to me if they would have caught me.
Well, they didn't.
Kata, above deck, below deck.
I'm gonna keep looking out for any danger above deck.
Okay. Elaine?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I guess I'm just gonna watch out as well.
Okay, and then Fade?
Hey Elaine, can you read Dwarvish?
I can.
Okay, we have to do some work.
Oh no.
Some ancient Dwarvish books.
Oh no.
Jody, did you realize this all along but didn't tell him?
I don't think Jody knows the one I know. So.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm gonna try to get some help, doing our best to use the ancient key.
Okay. Elaine, I would like you to make a just straight up wisdom check. Because this is a lot more, not so much intellectual as much as it is kind of reading between the lines and making connections between words you do know and words you've never seen before, because it's an ancient language.
Okay, give me a second to get my dice. I was like, oh yeah, I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. I kind of need those.
I will have Kata and Avok. Avok, make a perception check with disadvantage. Kata, make just a straight up perception check.
You got it.
Straight wisdom plus modifier.
Yeah, D20
Oh
plus wisdom.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
9.
13.
13, all right. Kata?
9.
9, okay.
I got a 19 on my wisdom.
Okay, so you're sitting there, and while you speak and read Dwarvish, this seems very, very bizarre. It's a very ancient dialect of Dwarvish. It's written in the runic Dwarvish language, which is not something you've seen a whole lot of. But you're sitting there kind of sifting through it, and it's starting to make sense. Working with Fade, you're able to pick out certain phrases and things like that. You're starting to get a little bit better picture about this particular city. While that's happening, Avok, you're just kind of laying against the mast, and you see for a moment out of the corner of your eye a darker portion of the water. And as you kind of look at it, you don't notice anything, but just for a brief moment you thought you saw a portion of the water that was darker than the rest off the starboard side of the ship. Kata, you're still just kind of looking around.
Good.
Yes?
I thought I saw something. Maybe you see better than me. I don't know.
Take
a look.
Go ahead, make another perception check. He kind of points to an area of the
Okay. Seems better. Oh, much better. 26.
Alright, so as you're sitting there looking around, looks like water. And you sit there, you're like, I don't really know. And then something catches like the corner of your eye, and you look to the port side of the ship, and you see a shadow moving from underneath the ship relatively quickly. Like the ship itself, because of Fade's help, the ship is moving relatively fast, and this shadow was moving faster than the ship was. But it's underneath the water.
Yeah, it's underwater. Underwater enemy? Think we should tell Captain?
Probably. If that thing, we're going pretty fast. That thing can keep up with us, then that's not good. That's not natural.
As you guys are talking, you feel the entire ship lurch underneath your feet. Elaine and Fade, the book that you guys are reading flies across the deck and slides across it, heading to the other side of the ship as the entire ship lurches and tilts to one side.
What the fuck? That was great. Beastie!
What would you guys like to do?
I just screamed out beastie. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole ship is kind of looking around. The ship, like, no one on the ship is unaware that something just happened. Like, the entire ship moved. So they're all kind of looking around. The captain gets up and is like, all right, everyone, what in the bloody hell just happened to me ship?
I think we...
He turns over to Avok. What in the hell are you talking about?
It's a beastie underwater that probably hit us, and I don't think it's leaving us alone.
Everyone, start scanning the water. See what we're up against. And you see most of the ship gets on various webbings and things like that, whatever they can, to look over the side of the ship. What would you like to do?
Not fishing again.
So, gather books.
Okay. You're able to pick up the books without any difficulty. They didn't go off the ship or anything like that.
I'm taking them below deck.
Okay. Fade. What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm going to stay in the middle of the ship and just watch what's happening.
Okay. Avok and Kata?
Taking out my axe of wounding and just being cautious.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's clear we're probably gonna be in for another fight.
Okay. Fade, Kata, Avok, perception checks.
Okay.
Shit.
16.
All right, Avok.
5 total. I rolled a nat 1.
Oh.
All right, Fade.
26.
Wow.
I got some sword pistol.
So, Kata, you're looking over and you're kind of scanning the water and everything, and you see the shape move underneath the ship again, and the ship lurch a little bit. Fade, feeling it move and seeing kind of Kata's reaction, you immediately dive to the other side of the ship, and you see a massive shape go from underneath the ship. Whatever it is the largest creature you've ever seen, even compared to like the giant spider you saw before. Easily the size of the ship, if not slightly larger. And you see it go around. As your uncommon elven eyes look even closer, you see a very powerful reptilian tail that's propelling it through the water. But then it seems to like dive down below what you can see.
Oh,
And,
you didn't.
The ship
You found the
itself-
tracks?
What?
Found the tracks?
No. Tarasks don't swim.
And we wouldn't survive.
It's a baby Tarask.
No, I think I know what this is, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Not meta.
Everything, like the whole ship gets really, really quiet as people are just kind of peering down, trying to figure out what's going on.
So can I... Sorry.
Go ahead.
Can I determine where it's going to come from next for this next approach? Can I get any kind of pattern to how it's moving?
Roll me a wisdom check. Just straight up wisdom.
I think I could help him.
Sure, you have advantage on it as Kata's trying to help you. Both kind of speaking to each other, going, well, I saw it here, and then I saw it here.
22.
Putting two and two together, knowing the very little amount you do know about water creatures since you spent your entire life in the Platinum City, you kind of put two and two together, and you get the idea that it dove down so that it can come up with greater force. And you get the idea that it's probably going to breach somewhere towards the front of the ship from just the angle that it went up.
Okay.
What would you like to do with this knowledge?
Front of the ship, brace for impact.
Okay, so everyone kind of holds down, and you guys see an explosion of water in the front of the ship. The whole ship rocks. It actually gets it lifts up into the air about 30 or 40 feet as it comes crashing back down. And as it comes down, you see this giant serpent-like head rise up above the bow of the ship, kind of sitting there and hissing. And as it sits there, kind of wrapping around the ship, you see a second serpentine head slowly raise up, a third, and then a fourth from the port side, and then a fifth one from the starboard side, and all of them look dangerously hungry.
Oh, you bastard!
I would like everyone to roll for initiative.
I will not hail this thing.
God damn it! 8!
I should probably roll initiative for the
That's
creature that obviously you guys have no idea what it is.
I'm gonna say hello.
Don't worry, Avok doesn't know anything. He just sees a giant beast.
Yeah. Avok, what you got?
20.
Elaine, what you got?
Give me a second.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Fade.
18.
Kata.
8.
All right.
It's gonna be like 20 something. Hold on.
Okay, if it's above a 20,
It's 21.
oh, that works perfectly. All right, so you guys see this massive, you're not sure what, but you see 5 separate heads descending, coming out from the water. All of them massive, at least the size of you guys, if not a little bit bigger. And they're snarling and taking bites at the crew and things like that. Elaine, you are the first one up. What would you like to do?
Well, first I'm coming back up top after like setting the book somewhere below deck. And I just see all these heads.
Yes, you do.
What the fuck? I'm going to.
It's about half your movement to get back up above deck.
Oh, that's fine. I don't want to go anywhere toward them. I'm gonna take out my short bow. I still have that. Yes, I do. No, I'm gonna take out the crossbow. I'm gonna try and take a shot at one of the heads.
Okay. You have a grand total of 5. You have the port, the starboard, and then left, center, right, at the bow of the ship. What do you want?
We're gonna get like the center one.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
8. Do I get anything on the
You will get sneak attack if you hit, because there are plenty of your allies around this monstrous creature.
Yeah.
What was the attack roll?
22.
It's definitely
Nice.
a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh my gosh, I only missed like an hour of the game. Why do I not know how to play? What is a D8? Is that it? Okay. And you said I get sneak attack?
You do get sneak attack, yep.
Okie I was about to grab the Will Wheaton D6.
Oh,
That was gonna turn out really well.
Maybe not.
14.
No, I have to do math. Alright, so you sit there and you shoot this crossbow bolt, and it sticks into the neck of the creature, and it howls in anger and rage and pain. But it's still there, obviously.
Yep. I'm just gonna use the last of my movement to get like as far away from the edges of the boat as possible.
Next up, that brings us to Avok.
Alright, I'm just gonna glare menacingly at the closest head to me.
Let's go, you big son of a fucking bitch.
Okay.
Frenzy Rage.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice going, guy. Taking out the
Make some
headphones
attack
before
rolls.
doing that.
Do you have a specific head that you're going for? Again, you have port, starboard, and then left, middle, right, front.
I guess they're the closest. Which one's the closest to me? Like,
Probably from where you were, the port side one.
Port side it is. All right, 2 attacks against it. All right, 8 plus what's my assistant? 16 on the first hit.
That's a hit.
Sweet. All right. I'll roll damage for that, and then I'll do the second. What's that? 1d12 plus 1. Okay. Where's my d12s? There are my d12s. Okay. Really? 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4 plus rage. Where's rage? Oh yeah. It's 9 damage on the first hit.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. 10 damage on the first hit.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess he does his little special DC roll.
He seems fine.
Bastard. Alright. And, fuck. 5 plus 8 is 13 to hit.
You take a swing and you miss it just barely. It kind of just reflects off of the very thick skin of this creature.
Alright. That's... yeah, that's my turn.
Alright. Next up is Fade.
So looking from where I'm in the center-ish of the ship, this thing was in front of us. Are the heads more or less all in front?
No, you have one head on the starboard side, one head on the port side, and then 3 at the front of the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, I run to the front of the ship while yelling "focus on the sides," and I try to cast blindness on all 3 of the center ones.
Okay.
Well, do I have to? I want to cast blindness. Does each head count as a different creature, or no?
It is one creature.
Then I will cast it as a first level spell.
Okay. What's your spell save DC?
15, and it's a con save.
It makes it save. So you sit there and you try and cast blindness, and it's just... and it seems unaffected by it.
Okay.
It is now its turn. All 5 heads start attempting to bite. The one that Avok is on tries to take a bite out of him. That is a really, really high roll. Oh my! I don't think you're going to survive this. Here we go. 10. Does a 10 hit your armor?
No.
I've rolled a 2. 2 of the ones in the front both take swings at Fade after he made his little effort to blind them. The first one is a 24.
Yes.
And the second one is a 16.
Negative.
Alright, you take 10 piercing damage as it clomps onto you. The second one comes around. Do you have a shield?
I do.
The second one comes around and you just bat it away with your shield arm. The third one tries to take a bite at the crew members. And I just screwed up that roll because I couldn't see it. And it sits there and gets one of the crew members and bites him in half. And starts just ravenously tearing apart this creature. And that's that. And then the one on the starboard side actually tries to take a swing at Elaine.
No.
12.
Probably not. No, I don't not.
It comes down and you jump into the air as it lands and cracks the deck beneath you, but misses overall. Kata, you are up. What would you like to do?
See,
You got 5 heads. They look dangerous.
where's the body of this thing?
No idea. You can't see it.
Darn it.
You just see the heads. You get the idea that the creature itself has kind of wound itself and grabbed onto the bottom of the ship. and the heads are up, trying to kind of destroy the ship.
Okay, I'm going to use Call Lightning on the closest one to me.
Okay, is that a saving throw?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm assuming dexterity saving throw?
It
doesn't matter what it is, it fails. Roll damage.
Okay. 17 points of lightning damage.
Alright, so you guys watch Kata's eyes kind of grow light, all Storm-esque, and she kind of points to the sky, and the what used to be a clear, sunny day, you see clouds start to instantly form, and you see a giant bolt of lightning come and strike one of the heads, the one Avok is attacking, and it writhes in pain and then comes back up and just looks furious. Anything you want to else you want to do with your turn?
Will it get an attack of opportunity if I back away?
Technically, you can't really get out of range of it, so
okay.
you just you can move around the decks as much as you want, but you are within its range no matter where you are.
Okay, then I'll stay where I am.
Big.
Oh God, I'll stay where I am.
Brings us back up to the top. Elaine.
1 second.
Lols.
Apparently, as the Hydra started having a snack, so did Elaine. So.
My bad.
That's totally fine, dude.
I'm just gonna try and take another shot.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
That is a no.
Crossbow bolt gets fired, goes straight past the creature.
Doesn't hit a door or anything.
No, you're firing into open water. So.
And I can't take another shot, can
I? With a crossbow, unless you have crossbow expert, you can only take 1 shot per turn.
Oh, no. That'll be it then.
Alright. Avok. You got a big thing
3 swing. Yeah, I'm taking 3 swings at the big thing in front of me.
Okay.
Ready? First attack is 6 plus 8 is 14.
Boom, impacts the neck and bounces off its incredibly thick hide.
Alright, second attack. That's better. 19.
That's definitely a hit. Roll damage.
Good. That's better. 13.
You said 13 damage, right?
Yes.
Alright. And your final attack?
Alrighty. Nice. That's a unnatural 20.
Yeah!
Unnatural.
Go ahead and roll damage. It definitely hits.
Yeah. Okay. Better. 15.
You did 13 before, right?
Yes.
And then you did 15 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep track of a couple different things in this fight. So as you sit there and the first hit goes in, you leave a deep gash in this creature. You bring back your axe, you take another swing at it, and it goes clean through the neck of the creature. The head that you've been attacking kind of falls off, flops to the deck, and just kind of wriggles there. The stump of the neck kind of hits the deck and just lays there. As you can see, like waves of heat coming off of it as blood kind of pours down onto the deck. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
1 down, 4 more to go. So many things.
Alright. Fade, you are up.
So they're attacking me. Can I touch them?
Easily.
All right. I'm going to try to grab them and cast a very powerful inflict wound spell.
Nice.
Go for it. Is that a saving throw or an attack roll?
That is
I
an
think it's
attack
an attack
roll.
roll.
It's 13. Jesus.
So
Okay.
you sit there and you attempt to grab onto it. You find purchase, and as the energy starts flowing down your arm, it moves out of the way, and the energy is expended on nothing.
Okay.
All right. The creature itself only has 4 heads now. 2 of them are going to try taking swings at Fade again. 21 and higher than that.
Yep.
That's a total of 20 piercing damage as it bites you twice. The third one up there tries for another crewmate. Gets another one, chomp in half, devours it. The final head is actually going to take a swing at Kata, seeing as she is calling lightning bolts down. 14.
That doesn't hit.
All right, so as it sits there and it dies for you, you kind of just move with the wind, and it goes straight past you. Ebok, as you're kind of standing there, reveling the fact that you just decapitated the monster, you notice that the stalk itself starts to twitch and move, and you see the stalk starts to get back up, and you see 2 little buds start to form that eventually burst forward, and you see 2 more heads have grown from where the other one, where one used to be.
Okay then.
Might want to check that count again, Evok. There's maybe more than what you just said.
And that ends its turn. Kata, you are up.
Okay. Let's see. Another call lightning then.
All right. Another saving.
I possibly like now just do it on one head.
Okay. It rolls a 17. What's your spell save DC?
Darn it, 15.
Okay. Does it take half damage or no damage?
Yeah, it takes half damage,
Okay,
so
still roll damage.
yeah, so it's 15 divided by 2.
So 7.
Yeah.
Math is hard. All right. Top of the order again. Seeing as you've all grown up around water, if anyone would like to use their bonus action to attempt to discern information about this creature, you can roll either a nature or a history check. Elaine, you are up.
Okay. So, I'm gonna ditch the crossbow, because it's just gonna start doing that thing it did, where I miss every shot. And I'm gonna take out my dagger. Because it's close enough for me to hit, right?
You can get to it.
Okay. That makes me feel safe.
There are now 6 heads.
Oh, that's fun too. Yeah, I'm gonna get up to it. Oh, wait. What's that one thing I can do? I don't know how to play Dragon Knight anymore.
You want to view your weapon?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so that's your bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys watch as Elaine, his golden armor starts to flash, and his dagger erupts into flame.
Alright, I'm gonna take a swing with my +1 dagger.
Okay, go for it.
Always miss like a loser. $16.
16 is a hit. Roll damage with sneak attack.
Oh no. It's like, what do I roll for daggers again? It's a D4.
D4.
Yeah, it's a D4.
I swear I know how to play Dungeons and Dragons, guys. 3, 12, 16.
Okay. As you go there and you plunge the dagger in, you hear the creature howl in pain. And you see that as you pull the dagger out, the natural ability of the creature, like you guys have been seeing, like a lot of the blows start to close up, especially when those two heads came out. You notice that this wound has been cauterized as soon as you made it, and so is unable to heal.
Ooh.
Avok, you're up.
Fire is the answer to everything. I'm just gonna go into every battle with this knowledge now.
Alright. Okay, seeing him grow back his head and seeing Elaine cauterize that wound, Avok's gonna use his action to do what was the check? Nature? History?
Yeah, nature or history for your bonus action.
Both of those.
Okay, this is just a straight up D20 roll regardless. So.
Okay.
Which turned out nicely. 19.
Wow.
Thinking back, you know this is a Hydra. Hydras are creatures of legend. You heard stories from Eladrin that were around your group that years and years and years ago, Hydra hunting was kind of a rite of passage for naval commanders.
Wow.
They would go and they would try and kill a Hydra. It didn't end well a lot of the time. Which is one of the reasons why it stopped being a popular thing to do. And they just went out and exterminated as many as they could. However, you do remember hearing legends of creatures that you cut off their heads and two more would grow back, unless you cauterize the wound before it could grow back.
Okay, I see.
Okay, Avok's gonna yell.
Hey, shipmates! Get some torches! Wait till I cut these fuckers' heads off!
Okay?
And I'm gonna use my bonus action because I'm frenzying to attack them. So.
Okay, well, you used your bonus action to do the knowledge check.
I thought that was just my action.
Nope, that was your bonus
Bonus.
action.
Oh, okay, then I'll
So you
just
still
use
have
my.
your action.
So I can do my 2 attacks.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
Alright then. Okay, that's nice. 15, 23 to hit.
Definitely a hit. Go and roll damage.
Alrighty. Not bad. That's 13 damage. Alright. Second attack. Nice. 25 to hit.
Another very solid hit. Go and roll damage.
Alrighty. Alright, that's another 13 damage.
Damn. Alright, so you sit there and take 2 massive swings at this creature, and you see one of the 2 heads that have just sprouted hits the deck, and you can see the fire damage from Elaine's previous attack has caused a rather big burn on it, and it doesn't seem to be regenerating like it was before.
Alright, good.
Next up is going to be Fade. What would you like to do?
Fire is the answer.
I'm going to use a 3rd level spell and try to inflict some wounds on one of these bastards.
Go for it.
16 to hit.
Definitely a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, that's exciting. Because this is a lot, potentially. So 31 damage, and then I will channel Divinity to add 17 more.
Oh my god!
Wow!
Inflict.
48.
Blood wounds is a hell of a
48
spell.
total, right?
Correct.
Now I have to
It's
do a lot
dead.
of math.
It's dead.
Wow.
It's dead.
Hey, I need some healing. This is gonna hurt.
So as
'Cause I
you
know
sit
it's
there
gonna
and
bite
you
me.
grab at the thing, you see waves of necromantic energy just start flowing through your hand. You see the head that you're in front of start to wither. You can see the other heads around you start to wither and writhe. You hear the creature cry out in immense amounts of pain. You can see it's starting to bleed from just about every opening that it has as its skin rips and tears from being brought taut as you just drain the life out of it. It looks very upset though. And it takes 3 swings at you with its heads in
Yeah.
the front.
It's mad, bro.
14.
No.
25.
Yes.
15.
No.
So the first one comes up and you use your shield to battle away. The second one comes and bites deep, doing 10 piercing damage. The third one comes up and you smack it away with your longsword?
Mace.
Mace, with your mace. The one next to Avok that he didn't chop up takes a swing at him. 12, 11.
Misses.
And then the other one takes another swing at Kata, 19.
That hits.
All right, and you take 10 piercing damage as it clamps onto your leg and takes a big bite out of you. Next up is Kata. What would you like to do?
Hearing Avok pretty much say that you need to kill with fire, Kata actually gets an idea. She lets go the storm, and she's going to cast Flame Blade.
Ooh, okay.
What is that?
So you guys watch as the clouds clear up and the sun starts shining again, and you watch Kata hold out her hand and flames erupt from it and bend themselves into this curved blade. And I believe you get an attack with that once you make it.
I do 24 to hit for 7 fire damage.
For how much?
7.
For 7 damage, okay.
7 fire damage.
Fire kills all.
All right, so you see her come down and slash at the creature and leaves this large gaping wound that doesn't seem to be healing itself because it's cauterized already. Brings us back up to the top of the order. Elaine now.
Oh yeah, we're gonna take some more swings at this thing with her dagger.
Go for it.
Math. I forgot. 17.
17 is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And with sneak attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
13.
How do you want to do this?
Yes.
So how many heads are up right now? Just
There are
like
5 up right now.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna kind of run up the back of its head or something, try and get up on the back of one of these things' heads and just like kind of rake down it with my flaming dagger.
All right,
Just
so
kind of
you guys
split it
see
open.
Elaine goes down into a deep crouch and then bursts forward. You can see the dragon power in him kind of flaring from his dagger. He runs up the back of the closest head, the one that's taking a swing at Avok. He comes up and plunges the dagger into the top of the creature. All 5 remaining heads start writhing in agony as Elaine rides the dagger all the way down, splitting open the creature completely. As he gets to the level of the deck, you see the head flop down, perfectly flayed open in like a butterfly cut.
Oh man.
You see the other ones like kind of falling around and waving, and you see them start sinking down into the sea. You see the head that you've just split apart start getting dragged over. I need dexterity saving throws from Avok, Kata, and Elaine.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Dexterity saving throw.
Yep. What do you guys got? Start with Avok.
18.
You're good, Kata?
As soon as I make it. 19!
You're good, Elaine?
22.
You unfortunately fail. You guys all, as the head goes off, barbs and the teeth and things like that start catching on things, but you guys are able to kind of jump out of the way, and the creature itself disappears into the red-colored water, and you guys see it slowly sinking towards the depths.
Is the one head that we cut off right away still on deck?
Yes, but it's withering relatively quickly.
I want to run over to it and try to grab a sample for study, because that's what I do.
Make a nature check for me.
18 plus?
Oh, you're fine.
2.
What did
20.
you want to get?
I just want to. It's supposed to be a legendary creature. I just want to know more about it.
Do you want blood? Do you want skin, teeth? What do you want?
I guess I'd go right for the face. So maybe if it's got whiskers, like a whisker, or otherwise like teeth.
Okay, you're able to extract 4 Hydra teeth.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool Groot necklaces.
Yeah.
Avox snaps out of his rage.
Oh, okay. I don't like beasties sometimes.
The captain
They seem
comes down, kind of sees Elaine, and goes, "That was bloody brilliant! Don't think I've ever seen anyone do something like that. That was a bloody Hydra.
Oh.
I haven't seen one of those around here." And you see him kind of lean back. God. And an elf's here. I mean, that's insane. All right, the rest of you. These 4 went and saved the bloody ship. Now you clean it up and get us back on course.
I'd like to call over my skeleton who did nothing that fight because I forgot about him, and I would like to try to insert 2 of these teeth into his mouth.
Getting a bite ability now.
Make a straight up dexterity check
Okay.
to try and tinker him in.
He's got to let me.
Yeah, it's just seeing if you can. Is what
Almost over
Negative.
20.
That's a 5.
it is. So as you're sitting there and you're trying to crunch, and you actually break 2 of the 4 teeth that you had trying to insert them in there.
Fine, we'll try again later.
You're just gonna make this skeleton a conglomeration of various bones you find.
Dude, that he's my buddy, man. He's got magical hands from Corin's place. I'm into it.
All right. Anything else the rest of you guys want to do?
See, I'm gonna heal up using my hit dice.
Okay.
Avox gonna get up bed because he has a point of exhaustion he wants to get rid of.
Yeah, you guys can take a long rest if you'd like.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Fred, do you
anything
need me to
guys
look at
wanna
those
do
books
before
more?
you went to sleep?
Do I need to look at those books some more, or are we good?
I think we might have all we're going to get out of them. Just why don't you focus on the trade routes, look for entrances, but other than that, whatever. Or any information on these little islands.
Okay.
We can't. Yeah.
So, throughout the rest of the journey, it takes you another 2 days to get to kind of the islands that are near where Dom Doral is supposed to be. One thing you guys do notice is of the 7 islands that are there, only one of them appears on one of the maps and is mentioned once in any of the text that you can find. And that's the one furthest north is actually shown on one of the maps. They make an offhand mention of it. However, your mastery of Ancient Dwarvish is not that good, so all you do is you kind of pick out, the island and some coordinates, and that's really it. So you know that they mentioned it, you have no idea what they said about it, though.
I can't allow this. I must learn ancient Dwarvish. I must know all.
Tell you what. I do have 2 languages that I never chose back when I made the character.
Ancient Dwarvish is an actual thing now.
Well, you would need to choose those languages technically at character creation, so I'll let it slide, but choose them before the next session. So again, the next 2 days are, especially compared to the day you just had, are uneventful. You do make it to this island, this grouping of islands. The captain goes, "All right, where do you want me to go?" Got 7 islands. None of them are small.
Oh joy.
Go to the one that was mentioned.
Let's go to the northernmost one, yeah.
So he takes you to this island. The island itself has a lot of vegetation on it, and a lot of kind of rocky outcroppings. It's kind of a weird dichotomy. You see, the island itself has a lot of rock. Like even the beach is more, instead of like sand, it's like little pebbles and things like that. And the island itself looks to be mostly rock with like vines and small things kind of poking through in various places. What would you guys like to do? The captain doesn't really join you. He's staying on the ship in case other bad things happen.
More.
But you've basically got you 4 plus the 2 people that kind of rowed you out there that are going to be staying with the longboat. So you're on a rock covered island on a beach of small stones and pebbles. You can see shapes in the distance, though it's very difficult to tell if they're man-made or natural, like rocky outcroppings, just because of how covered in vines and plant life they are.
So, what should we do? Should we, like, dive down, or should we explore the island first?
Guys, you read the books. You got anything?
I think we're 0-2 for islands so far. Maybe the 3rd time is a charm.
Like I said, you guys do see, like, the island itself is large enough that to, like, walk across the middle of the island would probably take you about 6 or 7 hours to walk the entire, like, length of the island. Straight through.
We can check it out.
Yeah, let us check it out before we go.
Buddy.
Perception check.
You got it.
That is a very strong 6+. That is a super strong 9.
All right, Avok, what you got?
22.
Wow, Fade.
2-0.
Okay, Kata.
19.
All right, so Elaine is
Show me up.
definitely very interested in the rocks around him. You've never seen rocks like this. They're pretty cool.
No.
They're
Yeah.
hard. The rest of you guys, as you're wandering around, you notice that while everything here is made of rocks and things like that, like you don't see any wood structures or anything like that, there are 3 separate areas that you guys notice where the kind of outcroppings and things like that look too symmetrical to have been naturally formed. There's
Nice.
one to the west that's relatively small and rectangular, again covered in vines. There's one to the north that has kind of a diamond kind of shape to it and is relatively kind of low. And then there's one to the east, which is more kind of circular, almost a perfect circle, but again, just all of them covered in vines.
Circle beats square.
So it takes you like 10 minutes to get over to the circular structure, and it's comes out of the ground about maybe 5 feet and is on kind of an odd angle. And the circle itself is roughly about 10 feet in diameter. And you can see there's various plants and vines and stuff just completely covering this entire surface of this circular thing kind of laying on the ground.
Let's burn it.
Detect magic.
It's got a 30-foot range.
Correct.
You don't see a whole lot of magic around here.
Does the area seem deserted in any way?
Oh yeah, like there's nothing living on this
Okay.
island, so you can tell, other than
Okay.
obviously the plants around here.
Burn it.
You can if you like to. You have a dagger you can set on fire.
Are we all in agreement on setting it on fire?
Yes, but let's wait till we leave.
Okay.
So, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to clear away any of the vines on this thing, or what do you want to do?
Skeleton, you broke my teeth. Clear the vines.
So you see the skeleton start walking over, and it starts walking onto this this disc, and as it goes 1, 2, 3 steps, it drops.
Okay.
Look out, Baloo.
And then you see a head poke through the vines and kind of turn back, kind of cock its head towards you.
Good job.
So cute.
That's one way to do it.
It's just looking at you expectantly now.
Walk over. So what do I see?
You see that the vines themselves have grown over to cover an opening.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm going to cast light on the skeleton and send him forward.
Okay. Unless you cut through the vines or anything like that, once he goes back under it, like you can see light coming forward, but you can't see him anymore because they're really, really thick.
Are these plants going to kill us?
Let's find out.
I guess they're not magic.
You start chopping through it. There's a lot of them, and they're incredibly thick. If anyone would like to roll a nature check, you can try and think a little bit more about it.
Oh, that's a big strong one.
Okay. Anyone else want to roll a nature check? Kata, you would have advantage on this if you roll.
Okay. I would still have a -1 modifier, but I'll give it a shot.
Oh yeah, because that's I keep forgetting nature's intelligence. Still, advantage is nice. What'd you get?
10 minus 1.
She got a 9.
Yeah, they're vines. Anyone else want to take a guess?
Oh, I tried. I got a 4.
Yeah.
I got a 1.
No one can tell, but they're massively thick. You cut through them. It takes about it's probably about 1.5 to 2 feet of solid vines that you're cutting through, and various undergrowth and moss and all these other things. But you eventually cut about a 5-foot wide kind of walkway through it. And as you go down, you start noticing the ground itself is kind of tiered, where it keeps doing like one of these things every about foot, 8-9 inches to a foot. It'll drop down about 6 inches and then go 8-9 inches, 6 inches.
It looks constructed. Like this is way up or down.
Kind of. It's possible it could have been formed naturally.
Okay.
Slightly improbable.
Okay.
You've seen other natural formations like this, but they're going down a lot.
So before we go too crazy here exploring, what is the plan for the ship? Is it they dropped us off and they'll be back like when we light the island on fire like last time?
You have the longboat waiting for you.
Right, with the 2 people.
Far enough away from the main Eladrin Empire that
they might just hang out?
Yeah, they may sail away, but won't be going too far. Like, you guys are at the edge of the world right now.
Okay. Then I look at everyone. You guys ready to do this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do this.
Hey, Elaine, let us know if you see any stop signs, alright?
Okay.
I couldn't read them. You could.
All right. Yeah, dwarf. Yeah.
I'll cast what? Did I cast water breathing at the beginning of the day, or?
You've just been doing that over and over again.
Okay, I guess it's time to dive then.
So you guys continue walking down. It would be relatively dark were it not for the fact of the glowing head of Fade's skeleton buddy.
Surfla.
You guys notice that this pathway goes really far down. 10 or 15 minutes pass, and you're still walking. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you're still walking. You start noticing that the area that you're walking through has opened up a little bit. You can see stalactites and stalagmites. You can hear the dripping of water every so often. You eventually, after about an hour's worth of travel, the stairs that you've been following end, and you're in a relatively large, unlit cavern. What would you like to do?
Is there anything interesting
Make me a
around
perception
here?
check.
Got it.
Anyone that would like to can make a perception check.
Yeah, sure.
Actively looking for dwarf stuff, so sure.
16.
All right.
That's a strong. We're doing 7.
23.
Elaine?
That's a strong 10.
Avok?
It's a week 7.
Gotcha. Elaine and Avok, you're kind of really impressed with the chamber itself. Faye and Kate, you guys look a little bit closer. You notice the walls are not natural. They are
Cool.
vertical. They end in right angles. You can see carvings in the walls. As you point them out to Elaine, Elaine, you start recognizing dwarven runes every so often. These are even older than the books that you were looking at, to the point where you can't translate any of them.
I will master this ancient dwarven language.
It's very interesting to you, especially since they're not in like sentences or anything like that, so they're just symbols. And as you guys look around, you notice at the very back, you see what looks like a large circular ring, almost like a doorway to nothing. There's a wall behind it.
Is my detect? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it's been too long for the detect magic to continue working. You can cast it again if you don't.
I think that's worthwhile. So yes, we will do
So you
that.
sit there, and as you cast the detect magic, the world lights up. You start looking around. You notice that the ring itself is infused with arcane energy. With the fact that you've worked almost exclusively with divine and been surrounded with Eladrin magic, this is very alien to you. You've never seen magic setups like this. You do see precious gems in a pedestal in front of this large ring that are set in a very specific pattern. And each one of these precious gems has magic in it. Looks almost infused with magic, which you've never heard of an Eladrin doing.
Okay. But that's about it for the room, is the circle and the pedestal of gems. Okay. Hey everyone, these gems are magical, as is this. Let me investigate this farther, and I would like to inspect those gems and see. I don't want to move them, but I kind of want to just like touch them and see if they would move.
They don't look like they move. They are set into this pedestal, which is grown directly out of the ground.
So the pedestal looks like it. Okay.
Yeah, it's the pedestal looks like it's grown directly out of the rock from the ground. You can see the pedestal itself. It's kind of like a half sphere, oval, whatever you call a three-dimensional oval. Ellipsoid, I think that's what it's called.
Sure.
And you can see that the gems are actually set into this ellipsoid curved structure. You can see a grand total of 10 of them in various positions, very bizarre looking positions. They look almost random to you. And intermixed between them, you can see there are portions of this thing that have, they're like specks of light rock inside of this very dark, like slate gray, almost black pedestal, intermixed in almost random locations in between these gems.
I would like to pull out either if I have like some paper in my pack. Otherwise, one of the books that I've been looking at, and I want you to take very careful notes of the positions and kind of like draw it all out.
Okay. She started drawing it. Make a performance check for me.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
See your drawing abilities.
We've seen that already. 18. I got better.
So you're sitting there, you're drawing, and you're making various references. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Staring furiously at these dwarven ruins. I will not be defeated.
The other thing, Fate, you did notice dwarven runes on this pedestal as well.
Good.
And there are dwarven runes on the. Well, they're runes. They don't like you can't tell dwarven runes or anything else. Elaine, as you kind of look at the circular thing, you can't actually tell the runes on this ring are not dwarven. You've never seen the shapes before, or rather, you have, but something about them's familiar, but you can't tell what it is. But they're not dwarven, you know that.
They're draconic.
They're not.
Are they elven?
They're no language you've ever seen, but the shapes, for some odd reason, look familiar.
Alright.
Avox just has his back against the wall and just like whistling.
Avok and Kata actually too. If you look at the ring, the shapes seem familiar to you. You have no idea what they are, but the shapes themselves seem familiar.
I don't think either of us wants to make an intelligence check to recall.
Okay.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll try. We're doing a history check.
Screw it. Avok will try intelligence check, I guess.
History. Intelligence history.
Either way, that's just straight D20.
I got a 16.
You have a higher intelligence than Kata?
Forget it. 6.
Okay, Avok, you can't recognize him. Elaine, though, as you sit there, you kind of sit down.
Oh my god, I got a 0!
Kata's got no idea. But Elaine, as you kind of sit down, you're trying to figure out what it is, and just kind of naturally, you lay back and kind of put your hands behind your head and try and figure out what it is where you've seen these shapes before. And as you're sitting there staring up into the ceiling, it dawns on you. When you were young, living in the outer city where you didn't have, a massive floating city above you, you would spend a lot of nights by yourself out in the open, very cold, looking up at the stars. And despite the fact that no one was supposed to interact with you, you were able to pick up stories and things like that from other families that were out there, where they talked about the different constellations in the sky and how they're all linked to different deities. Like each deity had their own constellation in the sky. And you instantly realize that the shapes on this ring match the constellations for the deities that you learned years ago and used to, as a way to kind of take your mind out of, the hellhole you were in, you would trace them in the sky.
Oh, dude, that's cool. Yeah, apparently these are symbols for all the different deities in the...
Oh.
I freak out.
Oh.
Okay.
Give him his space.
I look down at my holy symbol and I try to match it up somehow.
It's not the holy symbol. They're simply constellations that were named after the different deities. So they don't look anything like the people who use them the most. Sailors use them a lot as navigational aids. At night, you could sail by these constellations.
Can I look at the pedestal and see if the arrangement looks anything like any of those runes?
The arrangement itself, as you kind of look, you can see the little white specks form the different shapes in the night sky, and each one of the gems is at the center of one of these constellations.
Yeah, Lane, which one do you like the most?
Oh, what? You mean like which deity?
Which picture of constellations do you like the most? What's pretty?
I don't know. Oh. Oh.
Fade, your holy symbol starts to feel heavy.
I hold it like above the pedestal and like kind of like rotate around over the stones.
As you get close to the pedestal and you kind of hold your holy symbol of it, you start noticing that the pedestal itself, the stone, it's dark. Darker than it was before, almost to this midnight black. You start noticing that each one of these stones, starting with the shape that is attributed to the Dark Lady, starts to glow. And with your detect magic on, you can see magical energy start kind of flowing out from these stones into the ground, and you start noticing that the ring on the end starts to glow as well. And you start seeing magic, almost as a chain reaction, flowing forward and just rushing into this gate. And eventually you guys start to see arcane energy start filling the gate and start swirling around and rushing. And eventually you see it becomes kind of like a pool of standing water with a mirror reflection in it that you guys can see yourselves in the room. And all at once, the reflection stops, and you look into another room.
What does this room look like?
It's very, very dark. The light coming from your light spell, when it gets there, is kind of stopped by the gate. But you can, but you can kind of see through. There's a room on the other side. It's larger than the room that you're in. You can see there's a few items in there that are glowing faintly.
Okay.
All right then.
Hey, Ava, get ready.
I got a better idea. You don't mind if I borrow him for a second? I grab Durfla and just like toss him into.
As he hits the mirror of kind of standing water there, he goes through it, and you see him kind of get stuck for a moment, and then like get absorbed by this water, kind of like he's diving into it, and then he appears on the other side and kind of clatters, breaks into a couple pieces, and then slowly kind of forms himself back up, stands up, looks back, cocks his head. Since he's was your light source, the area that you're in is very, very dark now.
I'm gonna take out my dagger. The light.
So you have a dim firelight over here, and the room itself you can see very, very large. You can see steps on the other side that lead up to what looks like another area. You can see glass up there that's reflecting the light. You can see a couple doorways there.
All right then. Well, if the bonehead can get in, well, Evok walks right in.
As you connect with it, it is the most bizarre feeling you've ever felt in your life. You feel like your head is being sucked through an area far too small for it. And as you go through, your head is instantly swimming. And the first thing that you notice is that it's everything around you is different. As you walk through, you notice that the air itself, compared to the humid subterranean air that you were breathing before, this is cold. It's very, very dry, and something about it just seems different, seems artificial almost.
I think I'm tripping here.
As that happens, everyone on the other side, you start seeing that the image itself starts to flicker.
Nope.
You start noticing with your detect magic. You start noticing that the gems themselves are starting to fluctuate in power. You're noticing that the power itself is starting to drain. You're thinking you only
Now or
have
never.
maybe 10 seconds before whatever this portal is closes itself.
Let's go.
Yeah, rush in.
Right?
Hello, Zay.
Dive in. As you go through, you all feel that very familiar experience of just this strange, like you're being shoved through an opening far too small for yourself, and then again you're in this foreign place. You guys look back and you can see the doorway into this cavern kind of flicker, and then you watch all of the arcane energy just kind of collapse and cascade across the floor as just regular water. And the entry behind you is closed.
Do I see another pedestal?
You don't. As you're looking around, you notice going through there affected your detect magic somehow.
Okay.
You're not sure what, but it seems like it's starting to fade faster than you think it should.
Okay.
And as you look around, you can see that there is magic around you. Like the whole place kind of has, not really like the circuits you found over at Corin's Island, but something similar where there's magic running through the walls.
Now, you said when Durfler got tossed through that I saw some things glowing in there.
Yep.
Can I, just from quick recall, can I go over to one of those said items?
Yeah. You go over to the wall and you can see what looks like a stone in the wall, roughly just above, for you, with you being Eladrin, it would be right about head height, just above eye level.
Okay, and then quick scan around.
Softly glowing. As you step forward towards it, it gets bright. And as you guys look around, you see these stones set into the wall get bright suddenly, and the whole room is kind of filled with this soft kind of sky blue light. And you look around and you are in this relatively large room. You can see some stairs that lead into what looks like kind of an upper room that has clear glass around it. You can see there are, other than this room that the stairs lead up to, you can see that there are 2 doors leading out of here, and you can see the room itself. After you get up to it, there's kind of a balcony around that has a couple more doors from it. And the room itself, you can see something glowing in the room itself.
Well, that's fun. Does the stone come out of the wall easily?
No, it's set into the wall. It kind of looks like a sconce.
Okay. Ambient lighting. Okay. I'm on board. I like this. Can I just walk around the room we're in and see if there's anything else of interest?
Sure.
Yeah, I can make a perception check.
Sure. Anyone that wants to make a perception check.
Why not?
26 over here.
Perception. 25.
Nice, guys. 19.
Good. Elaine, you make a perception check.
Perception. 16.
All right. So as you guys all look around, you notice some of the light itself seems to be reflecting bizarrely. Like you can see it shift every so often as it kind of reflects. And as you look around, you notice that the kind of shifting light and everything like that is coming from inside this room at the top of the stairs.
Invisible peoples. I don't say that out loud.
It doesn't really seem like that. It's almost like if you've ever had well, I guess Fade might be the only person who's ever seen something like this. But some of the more wealthy Eladrin families have fish tanks and things like that in their homes, just as things. And so when light passes through water and gets reflected, it kind of has, as the water moves and things like that, it kind of waves and things like that. So very similar to that.
Sure.
Well, I don't see anything else worth looking at here. Shall we continue?
There, again, there's a couple doors. They look sealed. They're stone.
Hey, Elaine, there's some doors. You want to shoot them?
Sure. I made of stone, though, right? It's not going to stick.
Well, if you hit it hard enough, I mean, what do you guys want to do?
I go over to one of the doors and, like, are there any, runes or anything on it?
The doors themselves, not particularly. They do, you don't see a doorknob or anything like that. You can't really tell what it's supposed to. You do notice some gems set into the wall next to the door. But other than that, nothing.
It's one of those push doors. Just push on it.
So I'm walking around this whole room with my holy symbol out like this, just kind of walking around. Hello? Anyone? Anything?
And like a larger now detector.
Okay.
The only kind of difference you can tell is that there's something glowing in that room at the top of the stairs.
Call my mace. Start climbing the stairs.
All right. You come up and you see kind of a bizarre area. You can see a large table grown directly out of the floor, very similar to the pedestal. And on it you can see a few things kind of glowing. You can see there's kind of like a counter that goes around the entirety of this room. The glass that you saw before looks down onto the room that you were in before. And you can see there are two exits from this room because you kind of come up from underneath into the room. And there are two exits other than the stairway you just came from that go out onto the balcony that you saw before. And as soon as you get up there and you kind of look at the table in front of you, you hear movement from behind you. And you turn around and you see the back wall is another door. This one very, very large. And you see the door itself start to move and kind of slide down into the ground. And as it opens up, you can see that behind this room there's another kind of balcony. But from inside the room you can't really see what it looks over or anything like that. And you can see light from the balcony, kind of low level light.
Avok walks into the room eventually. So, anything?
You see the very large door. The door itself is probably about 15 feet. Well, now it's an opening. It's about a 15-foot wide opening behind you.
Well, let's see what's there. Avok saunters over there.
Avok, as you walk out, you notice that you're on a balcony, and as you look down, you see what looks like an entire city beneath you. You look around and you can see certain parts of the city are in rubble. There are places that are broken and things like that, but it's massive. And as you kind of look around, you slowly, your eyes start glancing up, and you realize that you can see things, what looks like to you, flying outside of the city. You can see them just kind of moving through nothingness. And as you look closer, you realize that they are fish and other creatures swimming outside of the city. As you look around, it seems like this entire city is encased in some kind of arcane dome. that's holding the water back. And you are deep enough that you can't see the surface.
Guys, I think we found Atlantis.
Really?
What's Atlantis?
What is an Atlantis?
It's just a story I heard.
Well, I think we found our way in, guys.
Really?
I guess so.
I looked for the directory.
Remarkably enough, you don't find it.
From my
That's right.
from my brief zoom in spirit walk thing that I did, I got to the forge. Can I at least discern, like, perhaps what side of town
The forge
it was on?
is in the center of town at the very bottom of the city itself.
Okay.
They're kind of like all roads lead to Rome. There are paths from every section of the city that eventually will lead down to the forge. Where you are now is basically in the center tower of the city. Above everything else, you're at the highest point in the city right now.
Well, guys, I believe that the direction we need to go is down a lot.
Okay.
I have good intelligence that at least there may be one magic item in that area, some armaments. So that's where we should head.
Avok, you're still a little bit overwhelmed by everything that you're seeing. And as you're looking around, you notice that there are portions of the city where this dome has collapsed and are completely underwater. And you can see every so often, just even looking around now, you can see certain, like one area of the city in the far western part of the city, you saw the dome itself kind of fail and water rush in and flood that section of the city.
Okay, that doesn't look good. Fred, what do you think of that?
So the shield failed. Did it come back up, or is it just down?
That portion of the city is flooded.
Dear Kata, please continue casting your ritual water breathing every day forever.
Yep.
You also notice that portions of the city, like, again, it's relatively far down, but you see buildings and things like that. Glass get broken as the water comes in. You see portions of the building get kind of squeezed and crunched.
So let's be aware of our surroundings and not break the shield and use any energy we don't need to. Because I'm going to make a wild leap that the power we just used may have made that shield collapse.
Whoops.
Okay. Why do I get the feeling we're on a time limit?
Because you're probably right. You're pretty smart about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm just guessing, but given the circumstances, and I don't like where we're at the moment, I'm just assuming the worst. So why don't we start getting going now?
Let's do it.
Onwards to death.
So as you guys head back into the room before, you see the table in the middle has changed slightly, and you can see kind of underneath the top of the table, you can see a map of the city.
Oh,
Just
that's
kind
handy.
of there now, that wasn't there before. Almost like it was painted onto the table and then was covered by a thin layer of glass or something.
Huh. Oh.
So
Read it.
Which way we need to go?
Okay, so we're here. It does say you are here.
Those maps.
As
So-
Avok kind of comes over and kind of touches the center of it, that portion starts to glow ever so slightly.
So we are.
So, Faith, where do we have to go down? So,
Can I guesstimate how far away the forge would be? I mean, if we can see the size of the city.
The city itself is massive, probably close to. It's circular in general, probably close to 5 miles across, and you guys are roughly about 1,000 feet. No, closer to 2,000 feet in the air.
Oh god.
And you know
That's
that
on
the forge itself is at the very bottom center of the city, simply because it requires arcane energy to forge all this stuff, and so there's all this stuff that fuses and sends arcane energy down into the forge. So it's directly below you, about 2,000 feet.
I look for the elevator.
Do not see elevator.
What is an elevator?
It's probably some fancy ladron thing.
All right, so let's. So when he touched it, it started to glow.
Mm-hmm.
I touch another spot.
Yeah.
That area starts to glow, and you see the picture that's kind of painted onto this table moves and centers on the point that you just touched.
What?
Ah.
Huh. Boink.
Zoom.
Right, just start talking to it. It does stuff.
Zoom in.
As you touch it
Enhance.
more, you notice that the other kind of countertops that are around this start to glow a little bit as well. You can see in the center, overlooking the room that you were just in, you see an area of the counter that is painted to look just like the pedestal you saw in the other one, with the designs and everything like that. And you can see each other countertop has a different picture painted onto it, just barely underneath the surface of this glass.
So securing a way out wouldn't be the worst idea either. So let's look at that. I want to go look at the one that shows the pedestal room.
Okay.
And can I determine how to get there from here?
No, it doesn't show the pedestal room. It shows basically the same symbol that was painted on the pedestal. Is painted on this. Is painted on this countertop, complete with the gems in the correct places and everything. Looks like a copy.
I want to touch that.
It glows when you touch it.
Touch everything.
Poke.
Not all at once.
Okay. Poke.
Minimal power drain.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Well, I'm going to go start looking for a way down. That's where I want to be. That's where I have to go.
Okay. So there's no way down from here. Like the room that you're in right now, you've got the stairs that lead back into the other room that you're in. And you've got the two exits to the balcony. Where do you want to go?
Balcony. Let's do it. Left door.
So you go left door, you come out, and again you can see the room that you were in before with the circular gateway thing. And you can see a door on the wall. Again, very similar to the one that you saw before. There's some precious stones set into the wall.
I want to know what the heck that control room is doing now. When you touch it, it glows.
Mm-hmm.
Is it sending the freaking defenses to kill us there? I don't know.
Sure.
Great question.
I hope
You've
not.
got no idea what is going on right now. You see that the door in front of you has 3 gems in it. It's got a yellow gem on top. They're kind of in like a side triangle type thing. So you've got yellow gem up here, green gem here, red gem here.
I press the green one.
The door opens.
I press the yellow one.
The door closes.
Press the red one.
Nothing happens, but the red one glows.
I press the green one.
Nothing happens.
I press the red one.
The door, the red stops glowing.
I press the green one. I yell up, "Hey everybody, these doors have locks. Come here, I'll show you how to use them."
Oh!
I instruct. I don't press the buttons, but I instruct them on how it's going to work.
Oh.
Because I don't want to press more than I need to. All right. Do you guys want to check out anything else in there? I mean, want to go play with the glowy lights?
I
You do notice the room itself has a very large table with a bunch of chairs around it.
Avok just, you know what, wants to take another sweep of the area, like investigating more in depthly, see if there's anything of interest.
I close and lock the door and go with them.
Okay?
And of course, it's just a straight up D20 roll because I have no intelligence.
Don't worry, man. You're not the only one.
I'd like to help you look at stuff.
You guys don't have a single intelligence-based character. I just realized that.
We're smirked, okay?
I didn't. It's not a jump stat, so I have a 15.
Well, I rolled an 18.
Nice
Okay.
job.
So, you guys are both kind of investigating. Again, as far as you can tell from here, you have the 2 doors on the balconies and the 2 doors on the main levels are the only exits. And then the balcony itself that opens up to the city obviously is an exit. However, if you leave that particular way, you basically jump and fall 2,000 feet.
Sounds like fun.
No. Even I know that would be a hard landing.
I look around for 2,000 feet of rope.
Surprising enough, you don't find it. It's weird.
Okay.
Who doesn't have 2,000 feet of rope? I mean, come on.
Alright. So there's no items of interest.
As you guys are walking around, you notice that that center table in that kind of control room, as you called it, is glowing brighter than it was before.
Let's go to the table. And we're gonna
So what did
stare.
we do? Or what did I do?
You go in, you can see that the picture itself is still glowing, and the place that you guys think you are is glowing, and then you can see these 3 red points of lights in different parts of the city, just kind of pulsing.
Alarms, perhaps. Do any of them line up to the section we just saw collapse?
No,
Okay.
they're a little bit further in. You can see the section that, like, if you kind of figure it out, you can see that these 3 things are kind of equally spaced. The 4th one would have been in the section that collapsed, but there's no light in that particular area on this map.
That's not good.
Is there any kind of like dwarven writing in any of these like images?
That is a fantastic question. As you look at it, and you get a little bit closer, you can see very faintly along the outside are what look like ancient dwarven runes, significantly older than anything you've seen before, so it would take you a long time to translate it. But it's possible. Like, you'd have to sit there for a while to kind of translate what it says, but it's possible.
How long would a while be?
Too long.
At least a short rest.
That's not bad.
And that would give you a little bit, if you wanted to do a more complete translation, probably taking a long rest and devoting a portion of that time to just sitting down and trying to translate would be easiest.
Can I roll an insight check about these the three remaining red lights? If I can figure out what they could possibly be.
Not insight, but I'll let you roll a history check to see if you can remember seeing something about them in your vision.
Nope, that's a nat one.
Oh, no.
The vision is difficult to remember.
Yep.
Screw it. Ava presses one of the red lights.
You see the picture itself moves, goes over to where one of the red lights is, and gets bigger in that area. You can see various rooms around it. It's a very detailed map. Really impressive. Like the workmanship of the map itself is phenomenal. Much better quality than, especially you, Avok, where most maps that you've seen are just kind of elevation maps that are used to plan attacks. And you can see that area is a bunch of smaller rooms with one very large room and a very large thing in the center of the room. You have no idea what it is, but it's just this large thing in the center of the room, and that's what the red dot is this large object in the center of this room. Fade, as you kind of look at it, you can see what looks like rivers or circular pieces of metal and things like that running from this large thing, going into the ground and kind of going further off into the city.
So I'll just take it. I'll say this. This is a guess, but from what I understand of this place thus far, is perhaps that's what's powering this place. The door's locked when I pressed red. Perhaps we need to turn these green so that we can use them. So maybe we need to visit these 3 points.
Okay.
Yeah, that else to go on.
And we need to do something. We shouldn't stick around for too long anywhere.
True. All right. Well, why don't we just make a note of where these are and let's get going.
Yep, I'll just jot everything down. Everything of import from now on, I'm just going to be jotting down.
Okay.
And then I'm going to write all of our initials into the ground, and then the word union underneath it. Put a big underline.
All right, that was a thing.
Yep.
And then let's check out that other doorway, the right one, and go out onto the balcony.
The balcony doorway or the ground level one?
The balcony. So I want to go out to the right balcony.
Press the green button.
Same thing.
This room's very, very different. You can see around the room itself, the walls have tons and tons of leather-bound books.
Books.
They're very, very old. You can see the leather itself is cracked and warped. Just the opening of the door, you've seen a few of the books kind of fall off. The pages almost turn to dust. You get an idea that this was probably a library of some sort, or some sort of repertoire of knowledge.
I just walk around the perimeter and look for any other maybe exits or concealed areas.
Nothing that you can really see.
Okay.
Just a really big library. Lots of books.
All right. I want to throw up a detect magic again.
Okay. In here, other than the doors are all like all these precious gems have magic in them. A very small amount of magic, and it seems that that's how they do this. Most of the doors are. What is that? Is it transmutation magic? I'll give you a school of magic in a second here.
Hey guys, I don't think there's anything else
Evocation.
in here that we need to get moving. But maybe if we get some time later or feel safe, we can come back here and check it out.
All right.
That is a good idea.
So I say we go the other way, out, and I'll lock the library behind us.
Okay. You're back in the control room.
I'm gonna go out the left door now.
Yep.
Before, yeah.
Been there. That's where you have the big kind of meeting room.
Oh.
You can head back
Oh.
to the ground floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come back down.
Left or right? There's 2 doors out of here.
Let's go right.
Okay. Green button. You guys feel the city itself kind of shift a little bit as that happens. Nothing massive, just like a slight tremor through the floor.
Oh, that's a good one.
And as you walk into this area, you notice, again, these kind of stone sconce rock things in the wall start to light up as you walk past them. And you notice you're in kind of like a hallway area that goes off to 3 separate areas. You have leftmost path, rightmost path, and then the one directly in front of you is a set of stairs going down. And you can see the room that you're in right now loops around all the way to the other door that you guys didn't go through. And that is where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Yeah.
So, for those of you tuning in on the Twitch channel, thank you so much. If you missed any of tonight's episode, I do upload them to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TraderJody. You can also follow me right here on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at TraderJody on Twitter because I always tweet about this stuff. On the first and third Tuesday of the month, I run this campaign. On the 2nd and 4th, I run the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. So next week,
and the 5th week we're also playing this month, right?
Yep, we'll we will be playing the 5th week since there's 5 this week. So anyway, yeah, just come back here every Tuesday, and I have some sort of D&D game that I'm running. Beyond that, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, yeah, you're more than welcome to tune in every Tuesday at either 8:30 or 9 p.m. Central Time and watch it live, cheer us on. But again, beyond that, that's all for me today, and I will see you guys next time, all right? Bye-bye!
Bye!